obviously your journey. I was doing a bit of research obviously on you and stuff, and the BT Sport stuff you do. And there was a comment that said, bloody hell, Nick and Adam have come out of nowhere on BT Sport. And obviously you haven't come out of nowhere. You've been grafting away for many years.
If only, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if only it was out of nowhere.
Tom always has this thing, and he says it's like takes 20 years to become an overnight success.
It's true, mate.
Absolutely.
But I was chuckling away because obviously, like you know, you're in the spotlight sort of in UFC now on BT Sport, big numbers, a lot of content, but you know, people's mentality to think, you know, like BT Sport have just walked up and gone, do you like UFC?
Well, I
just
think,
a random fan.
Exactly, yeah. I think more than anyone else, like Dan or Bisping or whatever, it's clear what they've done. And then even with Adam, he's such a polished presenter. I think people watch that and go, fuck me, he's a good presenter. I'm super biased, but I think he's the best sports presenter in the country.
Without doubt, mate.
And I think people can watch that and go, okay, I can see why he's there. He's fucking good at what he does. And then I think people look at me and go, who the fuck is he? Don't know who he is. And he's just the super fan. Like, that's it. And people need to realise that's the role I've been cast as, the super fan.
Yeah.
But to be a super fan in that position took 20, almost 25 years of graft.
Yeah.
You know, once I fell into journalism almost. I got a job at the Mersey Mart in Liverpool, a weekly newspaper, worked there for free for a year, then got a job at the Daily Post, worked there for, you know, I think my wages were $8,000 a year, that was my stat salary. So for the first 2 years of being a qualified journalist, I worked 9 to 5, went straight to Tesco's on Alton Road, stacked shelves till 9 o'clock at night, Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday night I worked the night shift right through, stacking the shelves right through. I did that for 2 years because I wanted to be a journalist, but there was no money in it.
Yeah.
And then I eventually got a full-time job with a bit more money, and then I jacked it and moved to Australia for a year, which was just like a lost year or whatever it was. And then I was coming back and was like, I need to go back, and rang the Echo and was like, anything going? And they said, actually, yeah, you know, you could definitely fit in with the team. Obviously there's football stuff going on, but we know when you were in the weeklies and when you were on the Daily Post, you wrote a lot about boxing and were desperate for the boxing writer. And I was like, that's the job for me. I'll be home in 3 weeks or whatever. So you know, last little bit of surfing in Thailand, and went on my money round. And then since then I did 10 years on the Echo as a football and boxing writer, and then eventually left there, moved to London, worked at Boxing News in London, and that was kind of like my dream job as a boxing journalist. But London's not my dream city. I just can't take to London at all, or the people. And I'd like going now for the day or something, but when I was living down there, I just hated it.
That 2 hour train's the best thing ever created.
Yeah, exactly. Coming home on that train is nothing better. You've never been so happy to see Run Couple Station.
Like Stafford.
Exactly. But so then I come back, and then I've done some work for a football agent for a little bit, and it was just, again, my relationship with football over the years has been weird, and that was another weird one because I got to see how much money was involved in the agency side of football. And basically a football agent had brought me in to start a boxing division, and you know, I was like, yeah, I can get X, Y and Z, and you know, I could get him a proper lineup at the time. But then when they crunched the numbers compared to what they can earn, a footballer can earn in terms of boot deals and advertising deals compared to boxing. And I'm talking, I had Olympians ready to sign. They were just like, that's never going to work for us. Yeah. But in the meantime, I had a phone call from Fighters Only, which was like the world's biggest MMA magazine, and I was already a fan of the magazine. And they said, will you go to our Newcastle office just for a chat? And I thought, sound, a writing job, covering UFC full-time. Boss, I've just done boxing, and I did boxing and UFC at the Echo. I focused on boxing at Boxing News. I thought, great, a couple of years covering UFC, that'll do me. And then I went to meet them in Newcastle, and they were like, yeah, this is our flagship office. It's not Vegas like we sell in the magazine, it's actually Newcastle. We have a satellite office in Vegas. And I was like, oh, even better. And they went, yeah, we're after an editor. And I was like, all right, sound. So I did the interview, I had a chat with them, got back in the car, phoned my dad as you do, and I'm like, after an editor's job, you know, mad dad, I didn't expect that one. And then I said to my dad, I'll have to ring you back, they're trying to ring me. And I answered the phone, they were like, listen, don't leave Newcastle, come back in, we want to offer you the job.
Wow.
So, you know, I got like a relocation package.
Now, what the fuck did you say at this interview?
But smashed it. Moved to Newcastle a couple of days later. Did 6 years up there. Spent a lot of time in Vegas, obviously. At the other office, a lot of time covering UFC. It was worth its weight in gold, and then it was only because I was getting married. I ran a fitness magazine then as well. They had the Fighters Only, and a magazine called Train, which is still on the shelves now. So I edited both of them, and then came back to Liverpool and to start a family, and then obviously I met Adam at Radio City. Because I just rang them and went, listen, I'm back in Liverpool now. I used to do a boxing show there with Peter McDowell, and I said, listen, I'm available if anyone wants to talk about boxing. And one night this producer just rang me out the blue and said, listen, we do a drive time show. There's a big fight this weekend. Our DJ's into boxing, like, you know, it's a sports show. Will you come in and have a chat with him? Will you do 10 minutes on the phone? And I went, no, fuck that. I said, I'll be there in 10. So I drove in, because I thought, if I drive in, he's got to give me at least half an hour.
I think for people listening, mate, who are thinking, I want to do this, but how do I do it? Even just little things like that. No, I'll come in and see you.
Yeah, I don't want to do 10 minutes on the phone, where the phone might go off, or you might have something else going on. I'll come in and do half an hour now. So anyway, I got in. I ended up doing half an hour with Adam, and then he was like, as soon as we finished the chat, he went, listen, can you come in every Thursday for half an hour, and we'll always do a boxing spot or whatever. So week 2, I'm in again, boom, another half hour. And then when we finished, then he went, listen, are you into podcasting? And I was like, yeah, of course, Joe Rogan. All that.
That's what everyone says.
Joe Rogan. Like, stick around for 10 minutes, let me wrap the show up, and let's go and get a beer. Me, you, and Mike, who was our producer and still is. And we went to Iguanas in Liverpool 1. Ordered a bucket of beers, and by the time we got to the bottom of the bucket of beers, we'd come up with the name Fight Disciples. We knew we wanted to do a boxing show and a UFC show because no one else was doing both. And we believe, and I still believe, that the crossover of fans is massive. If you look people getting knocked out, it doesn't matter whether they're in the ring or the octagon, you like people getting knocked out. So, and that was it. That was 5.5 years ago.